Let's get to this USC Notre Dame game. Let's talk a little USC recruiting first. Madden Ferramo visited USC this weekend. We were expecting maybe defensive lineman Jahkeem Stewart, but it doesn't look like it made it in. Who are some of the big names you're tracking out in LA this weekend?
Well, the Trojans have Christian Ingram on campus this weekend. He's a defensive lineman from the state of Georgia that I currently have predicted to South Carolina on the on-3 RPM. We'll see if USC can change that recruitment. He was supposed to visit Vanderbilt this weekend. Now he's at USC. He's a guy that Coach Henderson and Coach Riley and company really want to sign. Obviously, Jahkeem Stewart, the on-3 RPM was logged this week in favor of USC. LSU making one final late push to change that narrative. We've seen LSU rally with 5 stars this cycle in DJ Pickett. Can they do it with Jahkeem Stewart? He visited on Wednesday. We'll see, but the intel really favored USC coming into the week. USC, man, they flipped Tucson Longstreet on November 17th. That was as big a recruiting win as just about any program outside of Michigan winning Bryce Underwood had this cycle. They're battling Notre Dame for Madden Ferramo, so even though the Irish get a win on the field, does Madden Ferramo want to come in and help USC reinvent itself as a program under this new defensive staff? It's closer to home. He's been to a couple games this year, but he's been to Notre Dame a couple times this year. That's where the on-3 RPM is right now, top of the board target for the Irish. Obviously, a lot of 2026s on campus, guys like RJ Sermons. I have an on-3 RPM in favor of USC for the #1 corner in the country in 2026. I love that pick. They're battling for Toby Haystrip. He's a 4-star edge rusher. But USC, it's been a season outside of this. This was the only game that they didn't have a lead in the fourth quarter, believe it or not. So they were 6-6, but they led in the fourth quarter of 11 of their 12 games. They had chances against this Notre Dame team that was really hot. So I think if you were someone that paid close attention to USC, you could see that they showed improvement this year. And landing a guy like Tucson Longstreet, someone you can build around, and this is a good class, brand new defensive staff that I think had them playing a lot harder this year. I'm still optimistic on USC. I'm still high on their trajectory.
All right, 9 decommitments from the 2025 class with Jerome Miles visiting A&M this weekend. We'll see what happens. Do you think? What does USC need to do to hold on to a guy like a Jerome Miles?
Well, obviously, a lot of resources in some of these recruitments, and I think that's one of the reasons why they were able to get Jerome Miles. But now kids are having final conversations and dotting I's and crossing T's, and this is his second visit to A&M, and there's some excitement around the Aggies, and there's even some sources that think he could flip to the Aggies. So we'll see what happens, because there's some USC sources that feel like they're good there, but certainly he's back at A&M this weekend, so you got to have your antenna up at the very least.
All right, USC fans, talk to us. This has been a wild recruiting class. Some of the highs, some of the lows, but they could finish strong. You got Jahkeem Stewart, 5-star defensive lineman, trending that way. Can they keep Jerome Miles? Talk to us, Trojan fans. Comment section below.